Hello, my loves. Welcome into this Taurus Solar Season reading for those who have Taurus rising. If you haven't already watched the introduction to this reading and you want to learn more about what we're doing here, it's linked in the description and popping up on YouTube. So the rising sign is such an interesting placement in our chart. It's not really a planet, although I like to think of it as our Earth sign, because it was what was on the horizon of the Earth from the location that we were born when we were born. And so it's our Earth sign. No one calls it that, but I do. I think it makes sense. It's your rising sign, your ascendant. And so what the rising sign represents, it represents how you express your motivation and your appearance. You express your motivation and your appearance through the Taurus archetype. So when you approach people, you appear to be very Taurus-like in nature. Very fixed, very earthy, very unyielding in your physicality. You're very determined, earthy, loyal, domestic, and dependable. You appear that way to others. So it's interesting that people are always trying to guess each other's sun signs and thinking astrology doesn't make sense because, well, that person doesn't act like whatever their sun sign is. Yeah, that's because their rising sign is how you experience them and see them. Their sun sign is how they shine, which you don't really get to see usually until you get to know somebody, right? Until you're around them when they're expressing those qualities. So for me, my rising sign is Virgo. So you most likely experience me as a Virgo energy, as an earthy energy, as an analytical energy, as a mutable energy, a changing energy. Whereas my sun sign is Sagittarius, which is a very different vibe to that. And you may see some flares of my Sagittarian energy show up, my love for knowledge, my excitement about truth. And that's really when you're going to see me like light up and shine. But as I'm just offering these things to you, you're going to see more my rising sign appear more often. It's also my perfectionism. Whenever that shows up, that's my rising. So for you, you're Taurus rising, meaning that you're really, again, giving out these energies. It's also your motivation in life. I read this great book. It's called You Were Born for This, by Chani Nichols, I think is her name. And it's amazing. It was in my public library system, and then I returned the book and went out and bought it because I just wanted it for reference all the time. It describes the rising sign in a way that I haven't heard others describe the rising sign, and I love it. It describes the rising sign as the motivation for why you came here. I really resonate with that because that was on the horizon when you first took your first breath. It's what you were aiming at. It's what you were looking at. It's what was on the horizon, what you were going towards. Your motivation, I love, it's a perfect word for it. And what this book says is that the ruler of your rising sign, so for you, Venus is the ruler of Taurus. That's the ruler of your rising sign. Wherever Venus is in your chart is where you're motivated by Taurus, but you're moving toward wherever Venus is in your chart, the house that it's in. And if that goes over your head, just let it go over your head. Nothing wrong with that, okay? Get the book. It'll explain it in a deeper way. But I find this really, really fascinating. It really helped me understand my chart and the motivation for why I'm here and where I'm driving this ship to. They use it in terms of a ship, right? So it's like where you're sailing your ship is where your Venus is, and what moves and propels the ship is your rising sign, the Taurus energy. I think that's all I really have to share on the rising sign energies. Let's get into the reading. So if you haven't already, close your eyes, taken a few deep breaths, opened your heart to receive the guidance most aligned for you at this time. Here's your invitation to do that. And if you want to invite in your spiritual support team or any beings that support you, you can do that now. I just ask that they be here in unconditional love and aligned with your highest good and the highest good of all. Pause the video if you need more time. There we go. I love this card. Catch me. The number is 13. The message is all about trust, surrender, a leap of faith into the unknown. Look at this card. She's walking off a building with seemingly no support underneath her, and she is trusting that the universe is going to support her. Now, this is not to say that you should do this physically, literally, but it is a metaphor for you moving into the unknown. And for Taurus energies, that can be really hard. The unknown can be really hard for a Taurus because the Taurus likes the physical world. It likes the things that it can control and manipulate and touch and have access to. And it's a fixed sign, and fixed signs traditionally don't like change. But again, it's just your rising sign. It's just your motivation. So there's a little bit more wiggle room for you here. This is an invitation for you to just surrender, let yourself be guided. It almost feels like, what I'm feeling is like your Venus is calling you and guiding you and supporting you, and you're like diving into your heart, and that's like moving your feet forward, and like you're not even looking where you're going because you feel so secure in that relationship with your heart that you know you're guided, you know you're trusted, you know you can trust in the universe, you know you're supported, you know that each step you take is the right step. So I'm giving you guys a lot of examples from my personal life right now, and that's just how it is, and I don't have to judge it. Again, the shadow side of Virgo is judgmental energy, perfectionism, and judgment. Okay, so I did the Aries new moon readings today, and it was completely different. It was something that I was inspired to take a leap of faith into and to just do, because there was just such a feeling in my heart that it was right. And I was scared and I was worried, and there was a lot of nerves leading up to it and even through it. And it was funny because my first video that I did, I got some trolls on Twitch. And because I knew that I was following my guidance, my truth, my knowingness of what is right for me, my heart, I wasn't affected by the trolls at all. I thought it was kind of funny. I would not have felt that way had it been a regular reading. I would have felt attacked. I was called a witch and told that God was going to deal with me. Which I do believe. God and I are on good terms. And my spiritual tools to connect to Source are welcomed and encouraged. But I wouldn't have been able to be in that space if I wasn't truly following that heart knowing, right? That would have knocked me off the building, so to speak. I would have lost my footing because I would have been so distracted by that energy that was coming at me. And I know that it was coming at me to show me where I was, to show me the power in stepping forward and doing something that I was guided to do, even though I didn't know where it was going to lead. I didn't know if I could even explain what it is that I was trying to explain. I have no idea still how it's going to resonate with people because I haven't really shared these yet. This is what you're looking for. This is the essence of this card. This is what happens when you have that knowing within your heart that, yep, this is the next step I take, and the universe has got me. Power, my friend, my beautiful Taurus rising, is so, it's beyond words. And it's not like power, like domineering power. It's just like energy, amplification, support, protection, magic. Another thing that I am being guided to share with you as a rising sign, as the sun is shining on Taurus, which is your rising sign, you're going to feel a little bit of activation in what you're here to do right now. You came here with Taurus rising on the horizon. So as Taurus is spotlighted right now, you are being called into your purpose even stronger. This time of year is most likely a very potent time of year for you. You may feel activated at this time of year frequently. And that could be because of this rising placement. There's so much going on right now in our world, and our beautiful souls have missions and gifts that only we can offer. And there's no time like right now to step into why we came here. Look at her. She's stepping into it. And there's no logical reason for it, right? She ain't convincing anybody that this is a smart move, but she knows that it is. So she doesn't have to convince anybody. She just knows within her heart that it's true for her. This is what you need this solar phase. This kind of connection with your heart, this kind of knowing within you, and whatever you need to do to cultivate this, that's your focus, the solar phase. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening to your heart and taking this leap of faith into the unknown, because it is in the unknown that we can create the most beautiful world for our entire planet and our loved ones and future generations. Let me know how this resonates. Let me know if you have questions. And as always, namaste. The universal light within me salutes and honors the universal light within you. Namaste.